Shabbat Shalom. I hope everyone is doing well and staying healthy during this crisis time in our city when there's a lockdown around our community, and many of us are struggling with the emotional fallout of all of that, and psychologically it's very difficult. We've got to amass our strength and strengthen each other during this difficult time. And I hope you find the Shabbat services and songs and rituals that we present to you online, as well as the Torah talk each week. I hope it elevates your consciousness and strengthens you and helps you and all of us get through this time, and we will. There's a vaccine, there's a few vaccines on the horizon, and we are hopeful and prayerful that they'll be distributed quickly and effectively, first to our frontline workers and then to our elderly, and to protect those most vulnerable, and then to each and every one of us so we can resume our lives in the most normal fashion and use this time that we look back on as a time where we learn to survive and persevere. The Torah reading is a very significant one by Yishlach. It's the portion that tells the story, the ongoing story of our patriarch Jacob. You remember I told you when he had the dream in the last Torah portion, it was the dream of the ladder that went from earth to heaven and angels ascending and descending. He was gripped with fear. He had deceived his brother. Would his brother, many years later now, as they were about to reunite, would his brother wreak vengeance on him, kill him and all of his family? Would he heal? Would he have healed? Would he forgive? A great unknown. And as Jacob came, he saw that his brother Esau had amassed 400 men. And he was frightened. He was scared. There's no two ways about it. And so he split his family up. He sent half of them in one direction, half in the other, to protect them so they might survive in case the encounter would be bloody and violent. And there, according to Maimonides, he had a vision, another dream, and this time it was an angel or some kind of messenger from the divine who wrestled with him. And you remember, Jacob's name, Yaakov, means to wrestle. And this angel wrestled with him. And I guess in a sense, this is a metaphor for a struggle we all have with our conscience. We did something wrong. Now are we going to have to pay a horrible price and be punished for it? How do we deal with it? How do we come through the anxiety that we feel over something in the past? And so the Torah tells us this story, and what it tells us is a wonderful ending to this story. Esau not only did not hold hostility anymore, he embraced his brother, fell upon his neck, they reunited. And a lot of commentators say, maybe it was the way that their father treated them, acknowledging that each of them had their own talents. Esau was the strong physical one. He was the hunter. He brought home fresh game from the field. And Jacob was the more docile, peaceful, studious tent dweller. And so they both had unique and different characteristics, and their father, showing them a love of a dad, and their moms as well, gave them the encouragement to be who they are and to learn to move beyond an episode that might have crippled them for the rest of their lives if they only thought of it in those terms. And so Jacob wrestles with this angel, part of the vision that he had, and he prevails. And his name is changed from Jacob, the one who wrestles, to Yisrael, Prince of God, Israel. And that's how his transformation took place. When he offered that first prayer, when he had the vision of the ladder, he said, Lord, if you'll watch over me, if you'll protect me, I promise I'll worship you, and everything I have, I'll give you 10% of all of my possessions. So he was negotiating a deal with the Creator. But if you look at the prayer that he offers this time, when he's about to confront his brother, he says, Lord, watch over me and my family, protect us. Now we've got the mature prayer of a mature patriarch who recognized that divine protection doesn't come with a price tag. It's something that's given lovingly by our Creator to each and every one of us. So this Torah portion, rich with that story of Jacob's dream, his vision, if you will, according to Maimonides. Others say it was an actual struggle with his conscience. But that struggle in which he endured and persevered and came through that time, that was a powerful message to each and every one of us that we will persevere, that we will endure, no matter what's happened to us, no matter the fact that we may have lost loved ones to this horrible virus, no matter the fact that our lives were constricted, maybe we've had business setbacks, maybe we've suffered income loss, as many of us have. But you know what? If we unite together as brothers and sisters, as men and women of conscience, as Americans, we'll come through this time. I hope you take that message to heart, and I hope it lifts you and gives you the encouragement to get through these coming days for a future that will indeed be bright and full of blessing. Shabbat Shalom.